Future Gohan's world is completely different from the main timeline. Instead of dealing with Android 19 and Dr. Gero, his Earth was destroyed by 17 and 18, two androids far more powerful and destructive. But what if the future had played out differently? What if the androids Gohan had to face were 19 and 20 instead? If you enjoy conversations like this and want to take part in deeper Dragon Ball discussions, I highly encourage you to join the Dragon Ball HQ Discord server. Link below in the description. We'll be diving into this topic and more over there. Now, without further delay, let's begin. In the original history of Trunks' future, androids 19 and 20 made their debut as two of Gero's creations who eventually rebelled against him. Exactly how their story played out in the Doom timeline is left a mystery. Trunks only notes that once they were gone, the only artificial life forms left to terrorize Earth were 17 and 18. Their sudden appearance in the main timeline feels like the result of one of those time traveler moves a chair situations, where even a tiny change ripples out into massive altercations in the timeline. From the jump though, a showdown between these androids and someone like Frieza has always been titled in the androids' favor. Some fans push back on that idea, usually because of how Piccolo was presented during the early android arc. When Goku was mid-battle at 19, already suffered from the heart virus, Piccolo took a shot straight to the chest from Dr. Gero and went down. At first glance, it looked like a clean knockout, but in reality, it was a plot to set the stage for Vegeta's grand entrance. Moments later, Piccolo hopped right back up, completely unharmed. Not long after, Piccolo confronted Dr. Gero directly. By then, Dr. Gero had already absorbed energy from Vegeta and even topped himself up with his own reserves. Yet Piccolo still had him on the ropes. Gero's own shock at Piccolo's strength said it all. The last official number we ever had for Piccolo's power level came up way back during his fight with second form Frieza, when Frieza claimed 1,000,000. For Piccolo to be dismantling Gero this easily, it raised an eyebrow. Could he really have blown past Frieza's power level in only 3 years? And the answer is absolutely. And there's solid reasoning behind it. Krillin outright compared Piccolo's strength to that of a Super Saiyan. And let's not forget, Piccolo had been training alongside Goku during the entire time skip. Goku himself was already above Frieza back on Namek, so it's only logical Piccolo would keep pace. The manga even shows Goku sparring with him in Super Saiyan while still weighted down. Given Piccolo's track record, that's hardly surprising. Before his fusion with Nail, his power went from a modest 35,000 to around 200,000 in just a few days. This was a result from training on King Kai's planet. And the fusion with Nail gave him roughly a 5 times jump, allowing him to hang with the Frieza pushing 1,000,000. Nail himself noted Piccolo's raw strength before even merging, meaning he was already up there with the Ginyu Force. When you factor in that rate of growth over 3 years, surpassing Frieza is a foregone conclusion. That's why Gero losing to him doesn't subtly mean Gero or 19 are below Frieza. When we see Goku engage 19, their strength becomes clearer. As soon as Goku transforms, Tien is visibly floored, both in the anime and the manga. This is notable because Tien had sent Goku's ki 3 years earlier, and that same Goku with just his finger would have easily dismantled Mega Frieza. Yet here, he's clearly registering a huge improvement. Piccolo's reaction is different though. He's puzzled by how low Goku's energy feels. That's because Piccolo has first-hand knowledge of Goku's full power from their training together, while Tien is comparing him to the Yardrat era. Even sick, Goku initially manhandles 19. Tien even remarks that this level of strength is nothing he's witnessed before. Meanwhile, Gero isn't worried about 19 getting destroyed. He's worried about him draining Goku before his own reserves dry up. Despite being tossed around, 19 shows no visible damage, which already suggests a high level of durability. Given that Goku was ill or not, it was still leagues above his Namek self, and that 19 could keep up until the virus and energy drain took their toll. It's safe to say both 19 and 20 easily outclassed Frieza by a wide margin. I made a video about this actually on my channel, which you can check out. Now, when we shift the focus to future Gohan, the discussion becomes a lot more nuanced. One moment fans often latch onto is when Gohan explains his gi design, modeled after Goku's, because he once dreamed of matching his father's power. He admits he hadn't reached the milestone at the time, but the confession shouldn't be mistaken for a permanent ceiling on his potential. The statement is best understood as a reflection of where he was in that specific moment, not as an overarching summary of his strength throughout his life. After Goku's death to the heart virus, Gohan became Earth's sole line of defense. Years of battles against the androids and the losses and hardships that came with them, it hardened him. By the time we meet him in his final conclusion, missing an arm, his fighting style is far sharper. He's more calculated and vicious when he needs to be. And in straight one-on-one combat, he's more than capable of taking either android down. We even see this before he lost his arm and after he made that statement in the anime. An important point people overlook is that Gohan's original comment about Goku doesn't have to mean his Yardrat self. In Trunks' ruined future, Goku never had the same preparation period for the android threat. But knowing Goku, he definitely trained for those 3 years regardless. He's a Saiyan through and through, and self-improvement is hardwired into him. Gohan could have been comparing himself to a completely different Pete Goku, different than the one that we imagine. By the time he faces the androids in the last desperate battle, he's clearly in a different league from the kid who made that earlier statement. Even one armed and worn down, he can go toe-to-toe with either 17 or 18 individually, only faltering when they work together in perfect unison. Android 18 even flat out says that they'll go all out, and Gohan still keeps up until they synchronize their assault. This reinforces a theme the special drives home from the very start. The androids can't get the upper hand unless they overwhelm him together. Individually, even at a disadvantage, future Gohan stands as the strongest fighter. Now, with most of the power scaling established, let's break down how this matchup would go realistically. The main point of contention is how future Gohan will handle the energy-absorbing abilities of androids 19 and 20. It's reasonable to assume that Gohan might open the fight with the ki blast that they could absorb, but I don't believe that would drastically change the outcome. We've already seen Dr. Gero absorb a ki blast from Vegeta and even drain Piccolo's energy before engaging him in battle. And despite these boosts, Gero was still defeated by Piccolo with little to no difficulty. This suggests that simply stealing some of Gohan's energy early on wouldn't be nearly enough to guarantee the androids a victory. It's also worth noting that the future androids are implied to be stronger than Dr. Gero and 19, based on the statement from Trunks. After losing to 17 and 18 in the present timeline, Trunks commented that the future androids were stronger than him but not to the extreme level of the present versions. If you take this statement as 100% accurate, this implies that none of the fighters he sent up to that point, including Piccolo during his fight with Gero, were enough to make him reconsider his view on how powerful 17 and 18 would be. If Piccolo's strength had been shocking to him, he likely would have mentioned it then. Given that future Gohan was stronger than future 17 and 18 individually and can hold his own against them for extended periods, it stands to reason that he could defeat 19 and 20, even if they attacked together and attempted to drain his energy. Gohan's sheer power advantage would be overwhelming, and in the end, he would win decisively.